Matt Day here with Parsons Graham and Day, and a question that comes up regularly for me is how is marital property divided? And so, obviously, practice in Oklahoma. We're going to talk about Oklahoma. First thing, we need to understand what is marital property. All right, marital property are those things that are purchased or acquired during the marriage. There are exceptions to that, but generally speaking, if a thing, a car, a house, comes into the possession of the parties during the marriage, it is presumptively marital. There are other things that can come into the possession of the parties that would be non marital. So, for instance, like an inheritance is a non marital, even if it occurs during the marriage, it's a non marital asset unless you commingle it and make it a marital asset. All right. So, marital assets, those things that come into the possession of the parties during the marriage. How do we divide that? In the state of Oklahoma, we divide that what we call equitably, not equally, equitably, which means that divorce courts, as a court of equity, are going to be trying to look at how they should separate and divide assets and debts, right, in a equitable or fair way. A lot of times that does mean pretty close to equal, pretty close to even. There are other instances, though, in which the equitable division of assets is going to be more 70-30, right? 80-20, 60-40, because one party may have access to additional assets or may be in a position where they can earn more money and therefore recoup those assets quicker than the other party could. All right. So the division of assets is of what we would call equitable cognizance, which means that we are looking at factors of fairness for the parties in dividing their property, right? They got into the marriage together, they made joint decisions in the acquisition of property, right? The getting of the items, and now we need to distribute those items fairly or equitably between the parties.
The purpose of this video is to be informative and not to provide legal advice. For legal advice, call a law firm and speak to an attorney about your particular case. None of the information provided in here is meant to establish the attorney-client relationship between Parsons Graham Day and anyone watching this video.